you? Just chilling out and getting ready to work on some stuff today.
Awesome. All right, I guess I'll just get started.
Very cool. Thank you very much for reaching out, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, thank you for doing this. This is a huge honor.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
All right, how did you come up with the idea to do a clothing line?
I've always really been into, art, no matter what avenue it took, whether it would be, painting, or playing an instrument, or writing songs, or creating clothes. I've always been a really artistic person, and for years and years and years, I would make all my own clothes. And I still do, now, I'll buy, an old pair of pants, and I'll just stitch them and do weird things to them. And I wanted a way to raise money for a charity, but still be creative and still be able to put out a clothing line. And that's where the whole idea of the clothing line kind of came together. And I just kind of went from there, to be honest.
All right. So, why out of the various organizations did you choose the Trevor Project?
Well, to be honest, when I was a kid in high school, I was never really bullied. I was kind of that guy that was I was friends with everybody because I was so involved in so many different aspects of my community. I was always an athlete, but at the same time, I was always into really nerdy and nerdy things. So I had all my geeky friends. I had all my friends that were jocks, and then I was a musician at the same time as well. So I had all the music kids, and I was kind of friends with everybody, which gave me this objective point of view of the relationship between a bully and the victim. And I always saw it differently than everybody else. I think everybody saw, as the person being victimized as the only person who was really hurting. And I found that a lot of the times, the people who were bullying were actually people who had been, really hurt on the inside, because that's the reason why they had to kind of power trip on other people. And I just always kind of was the outsider, would always just see both perspectives. And I learned that both people were actually kind of victims at one point. And I really just want to put an end to bullying, because there's a lot of kids who commit suicide because of this. Even bullies themselves, who are just so tormented and such hurt people, that they end up, committing suicide as well in some cases. And I just don't think anybody should live with hate. And a lot of times people who have become bullied become bullies themselves, because they just really want a way of control. And a lot of times that's where bullies stem from, just people bullying them, and then they turn into bullies. And I think the cycle just needs to stop. And it just seems to be getting worse throughout the years with cyberbullying and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was a really good cause. And I'm also all about different walks of life. Whether you're black or you're white, or you're gay or you're lesbian or transgender, or you have really religious beliefs or you don't. I think people should be able to live however they want. And the Trevor Project was a really good organization, because it's really about being bullied for many different reasons. Mainly, for being gay or bisexual or lesbian and transgender and all that kind of stuff. But I just thought it was a really good organization to start off with. And I eventually, every few months, I'm thinking of changing the organization, just so I can give more to a bunch of different charities. But I thought that was a good start.
All right. Well, you just in a way kind of answered my next question. If you could choose a different organization, what would it be?
I'm not sure yet. I asked a bunch of people on my page to give me a bunch of different ideas, and there were so many really great ones that I looked into. So when the time comes to choose another one, I'm going to go through everything all over again. But I really do love animals too, so I was thinking maybe, some type of animal charity, or I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it again and see what the next one will be.
All right. What do you hope to benefit from the clothing line?
It's just another artistic avenue that I can take, and you know, the more creative I am, the more whole I feel. And then when you put on top of the fact that, like, you know, there's also going to be money raised for a good cause, that just makes me feel even better and more whole as a person. So, yeah, that's kind of what I truly benefit from it.
All right. What was the first piece of clothing you ever fell in love with?
Sorry?
What was the first piece of clothing you ever fell in love with?
Oh man, there's been so many. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, a few years ago, and I was walking down the street after a studio session, and I saw like a mannequin in a window, and this mannequin was wearing like these newspaper pants I'd never seen before, had JFK on them. And I just thought it was like I thought they were the coolest pants ever. So I walked in, and I was just like, are these things for sale? Like, do you guys have any more of them? And they're like, oh, they're actually just only on the mannequin. We don't actually sell them here. And I was like, you have to sell me these pants. And he's just like, well, you want to try them on and see if they fit? And they actually fit me perfectly. And I bought them. I've never seen them again. And I wear them all the time now. They're starting to die because I've worn them so much. But I think that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And then when we were shooting the video for Casual Sex, we were working with a stylist named Tony Sartino. He's like an awesome stylist, and he works with like Aerosmith and Bon Jovi and all these really awesome artists. And he gave me like a gift. He gave me this